My tripod broke. I ordered another one. It's not here yet. So I'm going to have to do the podcast a little differently right now and use my table to hold up the camera and sit over there. So I'm just prefacing with that to let you know. Also, not wearing a bucket hat today. Just wasn't in the mood. Let's get into the podcast. Okay, so today I'm probably going to be standing up and I'm going to go get my mic. And since I'm standing up and holding my mic, I'm not going to sing the song. So I do want to say that I got tickets to A Touch of Disney for 3 separate dates. Ignore my bad dates. 3 separate dates. So I will be going twice in March and once in April. And I am going to be filming all of those days. Hopefully I can get 3 to 6 vlogs out of that. So if you're still subscribed for Disney vlogs or you haven't seen my Disney vlogs, they're coming back. Plus, rumor has it, Disneyland has clearance to open at 15% capacity to California residents April 1st. Sounds like an April Fool's Day joke, but hopefully it's not. And if so, then I will be there as well. So make sure that you're following my Disneyland Food 411 page on Instagram. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, just wanted to say that. And it was really hard getting those tickets. I waited for 5 hours, but I was checking in on it for about 12. So the tickets became available at 8:30 a.m. and you had to get into a queue, which put you on hold for a few hours. And if you didn't get into the queue on time, you weren't able to get tickets. So that's really sad. So anyways, I am going to get into the book. If you don't know about my Disney content, this might be irrelevant to you. But anyways, I'll see you at Disneyland. Thank you so much for sticking around. Goodbye. Well, not goodbye, but like goodbye about that. Okay, we're just gonna stop talking about that. Little BTS. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. I am holding the mic, so I hope it sounds okay. I needed to stand and do this because my tripod is broken, but I ordered one. It's coming in, like I said in the previous clip with the terrible sound. But in the meantime, I am recording this real bougie like, and I have to prop my camera up, so I'm limited in the angles that I can do. So therefore, I am standing up, and it's all gravy. Hopefully, I don't drop my laptop, which I am balancing carefully on my knee. But this is how we do it. This is how we do it. Don't judge me. I didn't know where I was going with any of those notes. Okay, so today I am reading The War of Art. And I always confuse that with The Art of War, which are 2 separate books. The War of Art by Steven Pressfield is a very well-known book in the world of self-help and motivation. I really want to do a biography, but I've found that I don't have enough time to read a biography in the amount of time in which I give myself to do the podcast. So I wanted to announce that next week the podcast might come on late because I want to read a different, longer book, and I won't have the time to basically read the book in a 5-day period in time to film, edit, and post a podcast. So I thought long and hard about this, and I decided that I'm going to read the book that I want to read. Hold on one sec. Give myself better lighting. Come on. There we go. So I decided that I'm going to read the book that I want to read and take the time that I need to do it, especially since the audience that I have right now is very small and loyal. I appreciate you, but it gives me a chance to kind of figure out how I'm going to be able to do the books that I want to do that are a bit longer, because as you know, I am an online fitness coach and I coach in person as well, and I also train myself, and all of those things are very time consuming. And so I do plan on going to Disneyland and adding that into my schedule and mix about 3 times in a 6-week period, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 3 full days of going to Disneyland, filming, and possibly another full day of editing for each video. So I just wanted to prepare you for a possible delay in postings of the podcast. So if you haven't listened to the ones prior, I encourage you to do that while you're waiting. And I'm going to get into this book. I wrote my own notes of my favorite quotes that stood out to me. It's very short. And then I'm going to read a summary from the 4-Minute Books website, which I'm going to link in the notes because I think that it sums it up pretty well. It's a very short book. It only takes about 2.5 hours to listen to it on Audible, or if you were to read it, probably wouldn't take more than a week. And the book, well, when I listen to books on Audible, I put them at 1.5 speed or sometimes 1.3 speed. So it actually takes me even less time to listen to the books. That's just because I have a fast brain, as you can probably tell, and I need to listen to it fast, otherwise I lose attention for it, which sounds really weird, but my brain does go very fast. I actually heard a study, I don't know if it's true or not, that people with ADHD receive information and give off information, I guess, 4 times faster than an average normal brain, I guess, or like a typical thinking brain. And so that explains why I think I receive and expel things so fast and rapidly. I even eat fast. I do everything really fast. So that's probably why. Who knows? But one thing, and I know this has nothing to do with the book, that I've come to realize just from feedback of really close friends and people I've known for several years, even over decades, is one thing that they say, and a lot of people that say this don't know each other, so I feel it must be true, is that I'm very concise, very blunt, if you will, and I don't make things sound as nice as I could, and I don't deliver information or reactions or feedback tenderly. And I don't know if that has to do with the way that I quickly just process and respond to things or not, but that is something that I'm trying to be more aware of now that I'm a little bit older, and I feel like I could maybe manage that a little bit better. That was random and irrelevant for you to know. Anyways, let's get into the book. So, this book is basically, it's not just for people who are artists or who are entrepreneurs. I think it's for anybody who struggles with productivity or feeling resistance or feeling nervous or scared about things. Even if that applies to your everyday job or work or whatever. Sorry, it's getting back. This isn't the best angle camera-wise. What's up, Robin? Oh, I'm looking at a Robin Williams photo I have hung up. Random, if you're watching the video podcast, you'll see that I have sticky notes on my wall, but beneath my pictures are above. And those are actually quotes from the people's portraits who I have hung up that I like, that are part of the reasons why I have them hung up, because I draw a lot of inspiration from other people's stories who have accomplished a lot. So on my wall, I have Robin Williams, Frida Kahlo, Michael Jackson. I know that's controversial, but the man was not human. You can argue about it with me if you want. But to be honest, I've been watching Michael Jackson since I was 4 years old, and I've never seen that much talent, work ethic, or creativity in another human being since. Yes, there are a lot of other talented people, like I have Dolly Parton up there, and that's because there's a certain way her brain works that fascinates me as well. And I have Walt Disney because he is the creator of one of the biggest, most important things or parts of my life. And I know there was controversy about him as well. Didn't really look too deep into it, but I understand that. And I have Arnold Schwarzenegger. And now you might think well, why would you have Arnold Schwarzenegger? He's this and he's that. And why would you have Michael Jackson? And why would you have Robin Williams? And why would you have Frida Kahlo? And why would you have Dolly Parton? Well, I guess Dolly Parton's kind of an angel. Why would you have Walt Disney? I know the things that they did or claim to have done or whatever that created controversy. But I also firmly believe, and I have this hung up on my wall, is a saying from, I believe, the philosopher Seneca, but I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't him. You know what? Whatever. The saying was, do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. That's how you avoid criticism and judgment and controversy. And I'm adding that. So the whole point is, all these people who did great things in their own fields, like, you can't deny that Arnold Schwarzenegger did amazing things coming from Austria with his body. Yes, you can put him down for many things. With his advancement in his career in every aspect, whatever it was, that determination, that motivation, and the mindset that he has is amazing to me. So I admire that, and I choose to focus on the things about people that I truly admire that are proven, and less on speculation or hearsay or things that have to do with political correctness or feelings, and that might be my own flawed way of viewing things. But being someone who also has experienced her fair share of that in her own life, it's that we're not one of our actions, we're not one of our beliefs or one of the ways that we are brought up. We're many things as people, as human beings. We're multidimensional, we're deeper than that. And it's so easy just to look at one side of somebody, or one perceived side of somebody, or one side of a story, and create a whole narrative and demonize so many people. And so this might make me unpopular, but I'm not a fan of cancel culture. I'm not a fan of judging people harshly. I am of the belief that it's not my position to judge people, but just to love. And that sounds really hippy-dippy, but that's what's written in the Bible, and I love the Bible, and I've read it many times, and I take the messages seriously, and I'm not perfect myself, and I know that, I'm not one to cast any stones, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say. So, that being said, it's my place here to love, and if I am not being received well, and if people want to send me hate or disapproval or misunderstand or misinterpret or cancel or whatever, there's nothing I can do about that. And all I can do is not be that type of person. And that's it. And, at the end of the day, I try not to really worry about people's opinions or perception of me as much as I can. I'm working on it. It's not easy. So that's all I wanted to say about that. And that was a weird rant. Sorry if you've been listening to this podcast and you're used to me reading my notes and that's boring and this is better, or vice versa. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just talking out of my butt now, but let's just talk about the book if you're still listening, if you're not gone now. So the first thing that I wrote down was, the battle must be fought anew every day. And one reason why I say this, or that stuck out to me, was because in my own personal life, as much as each day I can be grateful that things went well, or each month I can be grateful that it was a good month for my business, or each, week there's something new and spectacular, or not, whatever. One thing I've realized is every day I have to wake up and do the things that allow me to have success a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. Every single day I have to work for those things, because nothing is guaranteed, especially when you run your own business and you work for yourself and you have all these endeavors that you set out to conquer or whatever. You have to fight the battle every day. You never just get there. You never just arrive. Nothing's ever just all okay, in my experience. So that was a powerful statement from the book. And I know that's just one sentence, but it's getting a little dark. I'm going to open one of the curtains really quick for my video podcast listeners. Oh, it's a little better now. A bit angelic in here. It's golden hour. So another note that I wrote before I get into the summary is, the truly free individual is only free to the extent of his own self-mastery, while those who will not govern themselves are condemned to find masters to govern over them. do with that quote what you will, but to me, that means that your life outcome is on you, and if you don't take the responsibility of that and you don't go the extra mile and get creative with that and work hard with that, then you are doomed to not living your truth. I don't know. So if you choose to not live your truth, then I feel that you shouldn't complain about it. If you're unhappy with that, or you feel trapped in your life, you should go the extra mile and work on it. I don't know. Another quote: when we see people living out their true selves, it drives us crazy if we have not been able to live out our true selves. So that sounds like a hater to me. People hate on other people when they make assumptions about them. I know of people around me that were assuming that I was doing all these big, massive things, and I would hear talk of the town in my little place. I'm not going to say where, but it was a place full of people I didn't know, and they had all these assumptions about how successful I was, how busy I was, what my work ethic was, what my routine was, my level of deserving of that said success or whatever in my fields. And I thought it was funny because never once did I ever think about what anyone else was doing around me. Never once did I look at another person doing what I was doing thinking that there was a limited amount of success in this field. There was a limit there that was a limited resource, and that me living out my own dreams or passions or working towards something, it didn't have anything to do with anyone else ever but myself. So the fact that these people were talking about me or fixating on me just really showed me that they were not happy with themselves, and they maybe felt like, I don't know, that talking about how much I didn't deserve what I had or I didn't deserve to be successful made them feel better about their lack of effort in that area for some reason. And so I think that somebody who's living their truth, it says it in the book, they don't criticize others. And when they do speak, they offer encouragement. And that resonates with me a lot, because never once do I sit in my house or go to the gym or go on social media and think about others in a damning or judgmental way, or try to figure out what's wrong with them, or why they shouldn't be successful, or why they're a fraud, or why they suck, or why they should be canceled. Or I don't think that way. That doesn't make me better. I literally look at each day as a bowl that I need to, what is it called when you wrap it up with a rope or whatever? Cowboys do that. Do they do that with bulls, or do they do that with cows? Or I don't know. But I just look at it as something I need to wrangle the day. I need to wrangle the day. I need to face the day and face the challenges that the day holds for me. I don't ever look at somebody else's thing. That's such a waste of time. That's such a distraction. Unless it's somebody that I'm trying to help, that has nothing to do with me. It's none of my business, and it doesn't even deserve any time in my brain preoccupying any moment of my thoughts. So if you're somebody fixating on other people, that's something that you really want to work on. And that's not coming from a judgmental place. That's coming from a place of encouragement. For real, I know that quote said that, but it's because if I encourage you to maybe focus more on yourself, I think that you can have the same positive effects of that. Because that means you're spending more energy and time worrying about how you can improve your own situation, how you can be happier, how you can be more fulfilled, how you can be more successful, how you can be more creative. Don't worry about other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Kind of rambling again. The counterfeit innovator is wildly self-confident. The true innovator is scared shitless. If you're faking it till you make it, or you're not being authentic or whatever, and you're falsely self-confident and you're unwilling to hear any feedback or make any corrections or learn from others, you're probably, never going to be a true innovator. You're probably never going to be truly successful or truly reach your potential. It's the people who are willing to always learn and realize that there's always something that could be learned in their field from somebody else, whether it be somebody who's less advanced, more advanced, has had more time, less time. Everybody has different experiences, different things to bring to the table, different outlooks. And if you always think you're right, you're probably not. And one thing that I could say is that the older I've gotten and the more I've done this, the more I've realized how not right I am and how much I could learn. So I think that's a good sign, and it's always a good thing. It's never a bad thing. So that's what I got from that. Another thing was, a professional does not take failure or success personally. That one I felt as well. So if you're successful, great. Don't let it go to your head. If you fail, great. Don't let it go to your head. It's okay. A lot of people use failure as an excuse to not try anymore, to not move forward. A lot of people use success as an excuse not to try anymore and not to move forward and not to work hard. So it's not great to get big-headed about things, but it's also not great to take everything to heart. If I cared that nobody listens to my podcast and I just didn't make them anymore because they don't get as many views as like my TikTok videos that are all, trendy and scantily clad and whatever, then I would never do anything ever. Yes, this is a less popular thing. This is a less popular platform for me. This is a less popular topic or even idea or concept, but it's okay. I don't take it personally when nobody listens, or when a lot of people do listen. It doesn't really get to my head either. It never makes me feel more validated. It never makes me feel less validated. So I think that's a good place to be. Anyways, now let's look at the notes. So here are 3 lessons that you can learn from the book. You are not alone. Everyone struggles with resistance. 2, you have to treat your dream like a full-time job. 3, commit to a territory and you might change the world. So, lesson 1, you're not alone. Everyone struggles with resistance. Have you ever had that feeling that you are here to do something great? Maybe you feel you owe the world a great book, a new approach to fitness, or even a blockbuster movie. If so, today's a different day than most for you, because instead of waking up, thinking about it for a second, and then shrugging it off, you're actually going to deal with it. The force that makes you swallow your urge to pursue your dreams is called resistance, with a capital R. And everyone in the world struggles with it. You're not the only one. It's this negative, opposing, ghostly little voice that tells you to stay at your job and not risk failure, that you're not good enough to paint something great, and that you can always start working out tomorrow. Resistance manifests itself in the form of fear, failure, procrastination, and self-doubt. Worst of all, it is universal. It doesn't exclusively speak to you. It targets everybody. Will Smith was afraid to meet Quincy Jones before becoming the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. John Lee Dumas was afraid to launch Entrepreneur on Fire, don't know who that is, and Henry Fonda threw up before every single performance, even long after he was successful. Also don't know who that is, before my time. But everyone struggles with resistance. Don't let that be your excuse. Lesson number 2, you have to treat your dream like a full-time job. So what do you do to combat resistance? What any professional would do, you work. Stop treating your dream like it's a hobby. It's your dream, for crying out loud. If your dream is really this thing that you want to be, my eyes are so bad. I'm trying to read my notes. Let me just bring my legs asleep. Oh, it's all good, baby. Oh, shoot. If your dream is really this thing that you want to be with all of your heart, that you want to center your life around, then how come you treat it like second cousins once removed at a barbecue party? Interesting analogy. Don't just tinker around for a few hours here and there. Go all in. All chips into the pot. When you treat your dream like your regular full-time job, you can transfer a lot of your skills you apply to the latter to the former. That was a mouthful. If they're not related at all. Oh. Even if they're not related at all. I had a hard time reading that sentence. Do you show up to your job on time? I bet you do. Do you keep working when shit hits the fan? I bet you do. Do the same for your dream. All pros know this. Schedule time to work on it every single day and then just show up. That's what I do when I work out. A lot of times I don't want to work out. A lot of times I don't feel like being there, doing it, but I just schedule the time, I go. Lesson 3, when you commit to a territory, you can change the world. Each of us has a different calling. Some of us are app developers, some want to direct movies, others write books or knit cozies. That means we all pick different territories to leave our mark in. You find your territory based on 3 things. 1, it makes you feel better every time you go there. You can bet that Stephen Hawking felt better every time he came out of his office and that Arnie was pretty satisfied after each gym session. Your territory is a place where you grow, where you feel challenged and satisfied at the same time. Number 2, you can only become king of the hill through hard work. The only respect a professor gains is through recognition of his work. Arnie made the gym his own by working out there every day of the week. He liked to use Arnold as an example a lot. Hey, but you know what? He's a pretty inspiring dude. 3, it's endless. The only limit to how much Hawking can get recognition, is it Hawking or Hawking? Hawking. Can get recognition is the number of meaningful insights and theories that he can produce. You get back however much you put in. Not only will owning your territory benefit you in your work, you might just change the entire world. Steve Jobs revolutionized the way we use computers by committing to his territory and spearheading new developments and ideas in his field. Whoa. So, one note, I need to make an appointment to go to Costco to get my prescription updated for my glasses. So that's irrelevant to you, but to me, it's very hard for me to read my own notes on the computer. Have to make them grandma size font. But that being said, I think that really relates to the posters I have on my wall. I'm actually going to show you if you're listening to the video podcast, and I have to carry the microphone and the computer and the camera with me. But I'm going to show you my photos on my wall. So first we have a photo of Robin Williams, and his quote that I have, and not his only and best quote, is, "You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it." And I think has a lot to do with this book. And then the next one is Frida Kahlo, and her quote is, "Lo que no me mata me alimenta," and that basically translates to, and I have that tattooed on my arm, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, pretty much, like feeds me, fuels me. Michael Jackson, "If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself." That's not his best quote, but I think it's funny because, like, we want to make the world a better place, but we're unwilling to change ourselves or do anything about it personally, firsthand. Dolly Parton's, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose." Dolly Parton. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I like reading this one in his accent. "Everybody pities the weak. Jealousy you have to earn." Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's my best Arnold impersonation for now. And Walt Disney, "It's kind of fun to do the impossible." So, ow. I'm gonna go back, put this stuff down. So, moral of the story, I think, is everybody feels scared, everybody feels resistance. Resistance is just anything that stops you from living out your greater purpose or further developing your dreams, goals, aspirations. It's normal to be scared. You have to be scared. In order to not be scared, you need to take action. You don't take action when you're no longer scared, because then you never take action, because you're always going to be scared until you do it. And you might even be scared while you do it. But I think with great risk comes great reward. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I am going to be working on a longer book. So like I said, please expect a little bit of a pause. I am going to be posting a few vlogs. I'm waiting for my food allergy test to come back, and then I'm going to post a vlog on that. And I'm going to post a couple of Disney vlogs very, very soon. And I'm going to keep posting podcast episodes, so stay tuned for those. And if you want to download Audible, you can get a free month trial and a book at audibletrial.com/Jordy. Thank you so much for listening. Let's go see what Nala is doing. Hold hands. I'm done. Wanna go outside? Wanna go get the mail?